Hello, everyone. This is Sam from Slice and Dice, and I'm here today to commentate over a game me and Phil played not too long ago. Something a bit different. So we've got Phil on Water Fire Warriors, and I'm playing Golbez Warp in Opus 24. So this will be interesting because we've got new Golbez support with Archfiends next set. But there's my opening hand. It's pretty nice. Root to Golbez and roots to some Archfiends with that Drace. This is quite an interesting game, so I'm glad we caught it on film. I win the dice roll, so I go first. Our hand's looking pretty good. I think I'm really glad we got this on film because I've got like near enough the nut start here. Although I am going to discard Tidus by the looks of things. Ideally, we'd want to be warping that. But I think there's always a tough choice on this deck. It really demands your hand quality to be a certain way. And the priority is always get Warp Golbez first. Make sure you have Archfiends. And then Vayne is a cherry on top. And then Tidus is another cherry on top. So actually playing out the Warp Tidus, not always simple. So I just go Aldo, get Golbez, simple stuff. Phil's looking like he's got multi-Zidane. Does he have a route to Tyvas? That's really the question here. Tyvas Mog would really hurt my deck here, and he does Meath. So presumably Tyvas Mog's the play, but we'll see what he goes for. Because he can get X-Star. Oh, I guess he's discarded his multi-Zidane, so if his Tyvus Mog is next turn, we'll see if it's in time to disrupt the flow of play on my side with these Warp Archfiends. They feel... The thing I like about the Archfiends deck is you could just take this turn where you play 2 Archfiends for free and draw 2 cards because you played a Vayne, and you just have a full hand and you're putting down all this pressure, which is feels great. But it doesn't really do the thing on the consistency level of a deck like Warriors. So it's definitely off meta tier for sure. So I warp Golbez, warp 4. And again, yeah, this, I'm going first and I still have to go back up, warp. And then it's next turn where we'll actually see me playing any forwards to the field. So, compared to Chaos that can kill you turn 2 quite a lot if you don't have any response. These guys, you can see how it's a bit different. But I am really looking forward to that LB Golbez next set because you can play him reactively. The new Scarm just protects him infinitely. You just keep him open, and even if your opponent waits for when you play an Archfiend end of turn, that you're still probably getting good value. That LB card, you could say it's a 3 cost because you don't lose the card from playing it to hand. Looks great. Anyway, Phil's turn. We're going into Tyvas, see if he goes Mog, and we'll see if the Mog is timely enough to really disrupt what I'm doing. I don't know if I've got a Vayne in hand yet. Should keep a close look on that hand. But he goes to Axstar. Interesting. This might be the misplay, potentially, unless he's got a Mog in hand, which is entirely possible. See Cagnazzo, Drace, Rubicante in my hand. Oh yeah, and he does have the Mog, so nice little play. Makes a lot of sense. But yes, yeah, I'm super looking forward to the Archfiends next set. I'm thinking of trying to put Warp Golbez with the new Golbez, have them both, because you can be warping in Archfiends while the LB Golbez is on the field, which seems kind of outrageous, but pretty all in. So if you guys have any thoughts on how to build Golbez next set, Opus 25, let me know. All right, so we free play the Cagnazzo, get the draw. So I can't see a Vayne in there. I've got route to any cat 4 card that I want with thingy. Of course, Mog's going to break on the stack, but I think what will happen here is I'll just play a Searcher to break Morg, essentially. And then we're kind of hoping to see Vayne ASAP. Yep, as expected. There's the Drace. Will Phil pop it? He does, yep. Smart. And I'm expecting a pass there. Yep, there we go. So now Phil, he's got a free play available. He can play a backup. I think the key for him in this match is getting the Axar to dull freeze a lot of my forwards when I've actually flooded the board. So that buys him enough time. And I think the Tyvas value kind of goes on longer than Golbez's warp value into the late game. But I do love, another thing about the Golbez deck is the amount of searches you can put in. You can be playing backups and searching, and you just kind of enter the late game having pressured your opponent with like 3 or 4 backups, even though you don't feel like you've been playing a backup game in a way, which feels pretty awesome. And if you can drop a multi-element cloud or lightning Garuda at the right time, that can sometimes just win the game. Feels really good. I'll make sure the deck lists get posted in the description there, so everyone can have a look. Local level, I've beaten some mono water decks with this Archfiends list, which is silly, but I wouldn't take it to a competitive event. Like I said, it's just a really fun deck. So Phil paying 4. All right, yeah, selfie. You can add back Mog. Oh no, he can't add back Mog. He can get Zidane. Zidane also a great card in this matchup, to be fair. Does he have that Edgar? Oh no, he can just go Axstar Zidane here if he wants to. If he's desperate to Zidane. Swing it in. I presumably take a point of damage here. Yep, there we go. One-off class Moogle. Splashes Earth. Axstar, Dullfreeze, Zidane. So it doesn't kill Cagnazzo, which is nice for me. And yeah, I don't have any replies. This is a character speed deck basically. It's an interesting one to build as well because you can initially I was going 3-color Earth, Wind, Lightning, but now it's just Wind Lightning with a splash of obviously the other Archfiends. There's a lot of ways to build the Archfiends as well, so I'd really be interested to see anyone else's builds in the comments available. So Phil's going to think about these targets. Yeah, I mean, going for one of these other Archfiends seems good, although Sid will search me 1, so if he goes for Rubicante, I've still got some good options here. I'm not sure what the right pick is, to be honest. Barbarisha seems fine. It's kind of outrageous, like looking at this board state, to think, oh, I could do well in this game. Because the value of Axstar freezing it down. I think it's just a bit early for Axstar. I think that's why this game starts to be winnable for Archfiends. It's cool with me and Phil playing because when he joined, I was giving him a lot of advice on improving at the game, and they just hit a certain point when he was winning a lot where I was like, I need to, like, for my enjoyment, I need to scale back this. No, we're never full sweat though. We still talk our plays through and enjoy trying to discover the best lines, which is nice. I think some locals, they run. Oh yeah, he took the cloud. Some locals just like run in a way where it's always hard sweat and people aren't helping each other improve. But I get a lot of joy out of helping people improve at the game. It's really nice. All right, so we deploy Rubicante, get a counter on Cagnazzo, and do we have a Vayne in hand? That is the big question. I think That will really help if it's there. I'm in the big think. Can't quite see what's in my hand. See a chime, see a scarm. Looking for the LB deck. If it's pretty possible to get this CAG up to 3 counters and deal with Zidane or Axstar. I think it's -8. Yeah, it is. But that's the problem with Warriors decks, right? It's just full of threats. All of these 3 forwards feel like they need to be dealt with ASAP, and they didn't really have to put a lot of effort into playing them out. I think this is why a lot of people are not happy with Tyvas. It's the ultimate one card package right now, as far as tempo is concerned. Oh, nice, yeah. So I go into a chime, cheap body, hopefully reveal a 2-drop or less character, presumably Archfiend. I want to add another counter. Phil's thinking about it. I wonder if he's got Amat here. Obviously, no, I think I would start. I think this might be one of the key turns. Yeah, okay, so now we reveal 5. I get the counter. We get the back attack Scarm revealed and Rubicante. I take back attack Scarm. Saw the vein there, goes to the bottom of the deck. Rip me. And yes, I do remember this now. I've still got a healthy hand size there, 5 I reckon. Maybe 6. And obviously, fire decks with 1 backup open, you're always scared of Amat. And Phil was even having a little think on that Cagnazzo counter, and that is a trigger that he can Amat. Letting it get to 2, it's kind of, I've just added a back attack Cagnazzo, so I think, if he wants to try and Amat the 3rd counter, there's a chance for a pretty spicy play, trying not to give up too much away. All right, Cloud comes in. LB Cloud. Now the Archfiends deck is very nice with its use of the LB. Like, Cloud is insane, obviously. We all know. And this is already looking quite pivotal. I think, yeah, Phil's on 3 in hand here, so it'll go down to 1 if he Amats this. So I put it down to 2, yeah, to represent the actual timing of this. Amat comes in, huge. Now I can't kill anything with Cagnazzo if in this current state, so Cagnazzo will just die and I won't get the removal off him. Unless he's Amatting Cloud here. I actually assume he's Amatting Cagnazzo, because I think that makes more sense. Because I would still, I'd still get the removal on Cagnazzo. Amat's Cloud. He does get to kill the body, but... And here we go. I back attack this Scarmin. I was really pleased with this play. This is absolute silliness. Now, this Scarm, you should never really play it, in theory, because Blood Tap is so good on the starter Scarm. But Phil's committed to board, and this felt like a blowout. And I even thought, just for the meme, I have to do this even. So counter goes on before Amat resolves, kills Zidane, Amat resolves, kill the CAG after I get to actually use the CAG ability, and Axstar's been killed by Cloud there. So awesome swing for us. And yeah, you don't see that Scum coming in clutch there. Outstacking Amat feels crazy. So very pleased we got that on camera. So now... Yeah, I don't know if I just passed turn here. Yeah, because my only swinger would have been CAG and that got killed. Outrageous stuff. Yeah, we're just talking it through. And yeah, Phil takes his turn. Tyvas got frozen by Axstar on his previous, so he's dull now. Phil draws up to 3. And He's got a Clive, he's got a Larsa, and something else. He's staring down. 4 forwards. I've got 2 in hand. Golbez is still warping away. And John, you see Jono's hand there. He's commenting on our game as well. We film these before or after a podcast session, so nice to get games in. And Phil's got a pretty nice setup here, I would say. All right, so we go in 4 for Clive, and he's priming. Look out, folks, he's priming. So his board state's very interesting because the Rubicante, currently on damage 2, Rubicante is just a 5k that can ping for 5k when he enters the break zone. So technically, if you don't kill it, it's kind of checking the Ifrit from swinging a bit, which is pretty outrageous. A very niche situation. I've heard this Rubicante did work for Wee Andy back in the day, back in the Opus 13 or whatever time this was, when this card was launched. Shout out to him. He was doing bits on Monofire back in the day. And Phil goes to kill the Cloud on the Ifrit. This is a really tricky situation for Phil now. Low on hand size, didn't really have a target, a warrior to play off Tyvas, so he didn't really have a value play. So felt obligated by the Ifrit. Maybe the Rubicante was the choice, but weird board state. It's hard to work out what's going on. So, what can you say, really? All right, and yeah, he passes when he realizes swinging into Rubicante sucks. It's going to kill his Ifrit. 2 CP forward that I didn't pay for, Cagnazzo warping in for free. Draw. So this is actually, I didn't realise until I've come to record this. Looks like it's not going to be a Vayne game. So we've not seen the sort of highest roll, nut draw, aggression that the Archfiends warp can pull off. But luckily we did answer the Akstar Zidane board pretty nicely. You really feel the tempo of going first on this deck, so that kind of, to me, feels like a pivotal swinger. So we're discussing something. We've really got to think this turn through. We've got a lot of swingers, we've got a lot of options. There's edge in the LB deck, so we can make our lightning forwards ping for 7k, I want to say, which would be, looks like it does quite a lot of work here. Then you've got, what are your other options? Not really sure. That seems like the play to me. And it's pretty neat use of the LB deck. Cloud last turn, edge this turn. This deck needs the LB deck so much because you need that gas, and the only like sort of late game gas cards, I say late game in quotation marks, are multi-element Cloud and Garuda. And that's, that's not always perfect for what board state's available. Okay, yeah, this makes sense. Sid Polendina, search Barbaricia. If I can manage to play her, I 8k his board. As long as no Archfiends are removed on the stack. Which, yeah, I don't think he's got any interaction, so that could be very tasty if it's possible. And yeah, so we've got Garuda. Yeah, we've got no win CP, so we can't play the Garuda right now. So I think, yeah, I just wanted to search that out, have that extra backup. Oh, pass. Okay, interesting. I was wondering if I would ditch the hand to play edge there. Yeah, that's interesting that I didn't go for that. We'd have killed, I guess the The problem is we're not guaranteed to kill anything, but it would have forced a lot of would have forced a little bit. Yeah, but if it doesn't kill the Ifrit, maybe not worth losing complete hand there. And to be fair, yeah, Phil on 2 in hand, like I guess I'm like thinking there's not a good chance he gets a great hand, which he does not. He's got double Larsa. Yeah, we're just deliberating over turn C. So we opt for the Leo, take the draw. Wonder what he got. Multi-Sedan. So that's not playable right now. Very tough position for Phil. And it's interesting to see that just simply decisions like, so I go to damage 3, which I'm quite happy about, as a lot of my effects become a lot stronger on damage 3 in this deck. You've got Rubicante, he's now buffed up. Scarmiglione, the blood tap one, a starter, that becomes much more powerful on damage 3. And you can see at the bottom in the break zone, you've got this EX Golbear's multi-element that is a crazy damage 6 trigger that you can sometimes try and play into if you're quite far behind, but you've got a lot of deck left. You can snatch a victory from the jaws of defeat with that if you manage to pull it off. Obviously, very low chance of it happening. So, but another fun avenue. Right, we go into our turn. Warp in a Barbarecia. Looks like we're forgetting to draw. Yeah, Barbarecia 8K's the board. Get a Cagnazzo counter. 2 because Golbez has entered as well. And that's looking really good. It's always scary against fire. He's got a backup open and 2 cards in hand. That's Amat. You never know when there's an Amat coming. I'm not sure how many he's been through, but that's always the game against fire. Oh, knocking decks over. And 6. Here comes the edge. Yes, here we go. And now we've got a swinger for 7k, and we've already done 8k to the board. So we'll be killing off this Ifrit by the looks of things, given there's no interaction. And if Phil had an Amat, he'd be Amatting that edge right now, for sure. And Cagnazzo up to 3 counters, so we can clear this board out nicely. Very nice, very nice. We got these 4 swings, so Phil's got one more turn to turn this around, but EX Kukulane, restock the hand. You never know when warriors are just going to turn the game around and kill you. I don't think the Kukulane does a great deal apart from the draw, which is massive here for the comeback attempt. Going in for damage 3. Sarah, nice hit for me. Oh, big Lev, 6-drop Lev EX. Bounce a card, get a water card back. Oof. That's one of the reasons Firewater Warriors is so good. You can run 20 EXs if you want in that deck. I think on average you're probably looking at 17, which is very, very good. Especially if all the EXs are really good ones. I've known a lot of people to put 5-drop Ifrit that you would just never cast, just to have that 9k EX. And you can cast it when it matters. But yeah, I think Phil's on a more of a streamlined build here. He's not running that kind of EX. He's running sort of the nice balanced sort of Mick Moll style Warriors list. So reliable. So we grab back Mog. Phil's trying to work out what he bounces. Bounces the LB edge, which makes a lot of sense. Something that doesn't add to my hand size. I wonder if he would have been... Now the Golbez has finished warping in, you could be tempted to say Cagnazzo or something. And then you'd be gambling if I had one in hand. I go for the free Tidus warp. This... Maybe you should just keep hand size here, but... take backsies are okay when you're learning. Okay, so we pay 5. Oh, no, we pay from hand. Okay, this all makes sense, especially if you can threaten an Amat later. I like this better, I agree with this decision. Keeping a backup open in a pivotal moment seems good. I think at this point, I've exhausted my LB deck, so I guess Cloud 6, multi-element would be pretty rough to get Amatted, but is that 2 autos Cloud does? Maybe. Either way, here comes Tyvus. Well, we see an Axstar. We see a huge frozen board. And is it enough? He's got 3, 4 in hand. Alright, we do ditch the ward. Interesting, because that would have been a great play off an Axstar. Could have represented 2 kills. It might have had to have been Chime and another though, with the power of this board. You got Golbez buffing Archfiends by 3. Rubicante is huge. Here we go, the massive freeze. And we're multi-Zidaning off the Axstar. I think at this point I would have kept the ward and got with that, but easy to say in hindsight. Here's Zidane. Which also means Axstar doesn't get a kill. But to be fair, he can swipe this Garuda away, and that does represent just killing all of his 3-drops next turn. So maybe he's right. Maybe and he just goes in for the swing, Chime. He's probably going to let me keep that. I think that would be right with the frozen Chime on board. That's a clog right there. Not a multi-playable card. And damage 4. It's interesting as well that we're even on damage, but I mean, there's every chance that Phil can kill me before I kill him. 2 swings next turn brings you to 6. If you draw a haster, if I'm drawing duds here, draw a haster, win the game. Something that I tend to struggle with is just being aggressive when your deck has that option. I much too easily slip myself behind and go to be the control player. But yeah, you can't say that he's wrong here. Afmao, all right, reveal 5, add a 2 drop. Sid, Vayne, whiff so far, 2 more. Ramu's a summon. Hey, and then we get the Scarmiglione, but it is name blocked from entering the field. Now I wonder what my plays are here. I've got maybe 2 in hand. Oh, yeah, we remember that counter now. Oh, I just pass. Terrifying. I like die to a haster here, if he has one. So Phil draws 2. To be fair, there aren't many more hasters than multi-Zidane in Warriors, so I don't think it's a completely brain-dead decision by me. So it looks like we're Leoing, makes sense. You can 6k on the swing with Axstar. I wonder what the out is here that could win the game. I can't think of any other haste cards Warriors run. All the fire haste cards are not really very playable, sadly. Got some Tiefas, you know. Left tier, here we go. 2 for left tier. So we're going to kill quite a few forwards here, but is it enough? So we're just discussing, I think, trying to work out what the target should be. It's quite rough because Rubicante's a nice threat on board and you don't want to lose a forward here. Goes for the Cagnazzo. So Cagnazzo was at 7k, boosted up by Golbez. Left tier dealing 8, so we could have just gone for Golbez there, lost loads of power. Even Jono's hand coming in too. Everyone's pointing to everything. And we'll see as well, it will be interesting to see if Phil swings in with his Dan here, considering if he doesn't get lethal on me, my chances of getting lethal on him are pretty good. Obviously it's late game and I'm running out of LB. So finding gas is a tricky one. Handful of Scarms with a Scarm on board. Now, he's going for it. He's getting rid of one. He's helping me draw towards other cards that are more live. So questionable. So we draw, damage. Oh, that's a card you don't see much. Gramis. That's my 1 searcher for Vayne. Probably more of a flex slot. And yeah, so we're looking at 2 blockers, 5 swingers, and he's on damage 4. So we need 3 to get through. So killing 1 forward does the business here. Oh, 2 he's got 3 blockers. I don't know if I've said 3 or 2 there. 4 in hand, I think. I think I've seen a Vayne, so that might come out here. Draws us further into the deck. There we see the Vayne. We get to remove accounts from Tidus to draw a card. More Scar Miglionis. Obviously, it's like the S ability is so good. This has been a very atypical game in regards to that. You usually see the S ability come out and start doing the business, but here we are in an interesting position. Bending 5, and we do have a Garuda. That's going to be huge. So we're 8k all 3 drops, presumably. Yep. Say goodbye, Axstar and Leo. And that should be enough to force the game. Left ear dealing 7k? Well, 7 or 8k with the left ear. I think, no, she's a 6k, isn't she? I want to say 7. Swing, ward, EX. Oh my goodness. That's pretty scary. Seeing that EX burst in this board state where you've got to just squeeze through enough attackers. I think he might need 1 more to hold out because we've still got these 3 swingers that can do the business. Got to pick carefully here. I think we're doing 7k. Oh, boosted up by the left here. Pretty sure that field ability applies to the EX, but let me know in the comments if you guys have any differing opinions on that one. FFTCG rulings, I'm never totally confident myself. I've probably got better rules knowledge than some, but I hate trying to be confident about them because of the Twitter rulings and various things. All right. Chime coming in. Yeah, left ear must be a 5k if I'm happy to swing on Chime. We get the block and back attack Scarm for game. This was the game of back attack Scarm. Not something you're going to see very often. Definitely a fringe game, but I was pretty glad we got that one on tape. It's all right, guys. Thanks very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this. We've got a sort of atypical deck versus strong meta deck like Firewater Knights, Warriors. And yeah, If you have any questions, please sound off in the comments. Appreciate you all for listening. Check out the Slice and Dice podcast and catch you later. Cheers.